And we are live, Mr. Gracey Show 130.
130. What's up?
Chilling. Yeah, do you realize that I still start the show off with the "and"? We are live. The "and" part was because it used to be setting it up, preparing, and
Right.
we are live.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I remember that. Yeah, no. You just shortened it to "and we are live."
Yeah. I could get rid of the "and" and just "we are live," but something about that "and" pumps me up. And
it's called evolution, man.
It's evolution, baby. Crazy fucking world we're in, Mr. Gracey.
Always.
Clinton's not showing up for subpoenas for sexual trafficking cases and pedophilia.
Yeah, he won't. Him and Hillary won't show up to Congress to be invested or to be questioned. But Trump's the pedo. That's what I love about the fucking left, because there's some pictures of Trump with Epstein, but he's the pedo. Got it. Yes.
Got it. And like so many pictures, dude. I mean, Clinton is in a huge, I guess, jacuzzi with naked women floating by and,
right.
Probably underage people.
Been on the plane 26 times, visited the island multiple times. Like, what?
Yep.
But yeah, they're not going to show up because it might be weaponized against them. Like, yeah, okay. How about you just tell the fucking truth? How about that?
Exactly. I'm going to play a video on this Alex Preddy thing. Again, I don't really know much about that. The only thing I do have seen is that the gun that was in his waistband, the gun was taken out before he was shot. So that kind of freaks me out. But this chick I'm going to play right now, it's official Liz Wheeler is her Instagram page. And she does like a little dive. Yeah. And she breaks this down in slow mo. So I just want to play it for the audience, and then we'll get, our reactions from it. And just kind of see where everybody's head is at.
About Mr. Peretti, because he's not the good guy that the left makes him out to be. It's always the case with these fucking people. Like, they're just the best people. They're just moms. And he worked at the VA. Blah, blah. No, he got fired from the VA. And they always end up being, not great human beings. Sorry. They're just not.
Well,
and by the way, they're all on the Signal Gate chat too. We can talk about that too.
True. Well, and just when you're protesting with a gun in your waist, it's a little weird. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how good of a person you are. Like,
that would have happened with local law enforcement. You show up, you fucking starting to get an altercation, and you have a weapon on you, whether they took it out of his waistband or not. Like, you have a weapon. They don't know if you have another weapon on you, and it's
exactly
dangerous. Why the fuck would you show? If you're going to peacefully protest, why do you have a weapon on you?
Good point.
A law enforcement officer fires a gun at Alex Preddy, you will see Alex Preddy reach for his waistband, as if reaching for his holster, as if reaching for his firearm. Okay, so let's roll this tape. So you can see the man in the gray, the officer's hand. You see him reaching for the firearm. Then you see the man in green, the law enforcement officer drawing his gun. Now listen very closely for the sound of the first shot. Okay, stop it right there for a second. Now the sound of the first shot is not when Alex Preddy is shot. The sound of the first shot, again, we'll come back to that in a moment, because there are theories which seem to be substantiated about Alex Preddy's firearm negligently discharging after the officer had removed it from his holster, after the officer had disarmed Alex Preddy. But watch what's happening. The agent in green, who is the agent that ultimately shoots Alex Preddy, does not fire his firearm until, roll the tape.
Well, Chad, let me ask you a question. Do you think that matters? Like, somebody shot, there was a shot before supposedly the fatal shot to Alex Preddy. So that had to have come from ICE or somebody on the outside, is my thought. They're saying that her position is that when the officer took the gun out of Alex's waist, it might have discharged beforehand. But
okay.
Here in that shot, it's a couple seconds before he actually gets shot. But let's see. So now supposedly goes to reach for his waist where the gun was, and that's when this ICE officer shoots him.
Watch what Alex Preddy does. Watch his hand right there. He's reaching around his back. He's reaching for his holster.
Right
you can
there.
see his arm going like this, reaching for his holster. And it is only at that moment, you can roll the tape again.
Boom, now he shot.
It is only at that moment.
But he is reaching.
That law enforcement shoots him. Before any.
Good night.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I keep saying I don't want people to die, but stop doing fucking stupid shit. What are you like?
Right.
What are you doing?
What
are you doing? Why are you fucking there? Why are you there? You're there to protest illegal aliens being removed from your fucking community because you're an idiot.
Right.
And now they've back to the Signal chat. So he is on the Signal chat. The Signal chat has come out. It was infiltrated by a guy named Cam Higbee. It has the lieutenant governor of Minnesota on it. It has campaign manager for Tim Walz on it. It has city council members on it. It has all these foot soldiers on it. They're all coordinated and they're all paid for by foreign money. It's all on this Signal chat thing that's come out, right? And so this was all coordinated.
And Renee and Alex were part of that Signal chat.
Alex is on it. Renee Good is on that chat or was on that chat. They found her on there. These people are in a coordinated effort to fucking stop law enforcement and impede law enforcement. And they're basically committing treason by coordinating this. Okay. From the top down, the lieutenant governor of the goddamn state is on this chat, coordinating people, telling people to do this shit.
That's crazy, man.
They had the whole city broken up into grids and they had access. They would call out ICE agents' vehicle license plate numbers. So they had ability to look up license plate numbers, which is only either a state or a federal database. So they had state officials feeding them information, or maybe even federal officials feeding that information about the ICE agents' vehicles. Like, this is fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
and
man.
then they blame the ICE agents for this bullshit. They're literally attacking them, going after them, trying to stop them from doing their job.
Yeah.
And then they blame them.
They're in unmarked vehicles for a reason, and then you're literally giving out what vehicle they're in. Like, that's crazy. You're literally trying to cause a problem where there probably wouldn't be one if you didn't release your citizens onto federal agents. Like, that's crazy, man.
Right. And
it's more
as
sinister.
I said earlier before we came on, it's like Tim Walz and Mayor Fry, whatever the fuck his name is, they're literally sacrificing these people. Like, they've been egging these people on to resist. You got to resist. You got to resist.
Right.
Like, what? So you're basically sacrificing yourself for these fucking two idiots who are caught up in a gigantic fraud scheme.
Yep.
You don't see what's going on here? Come on. It's not about your Fourth Amendment rights, and it's not about. It's just they're literally coordinating you to go after ICE, to go out there and fight them, to try to get rid of them, try to get them out of Minneapolis and Minnesota so that they can't continue to remove illegal aliens, but to cover up the fucking fraud that they've committed or they've been a part of, at least.
Preach it, brother. That ain't no bullshit. Not to switch gears too quickly, but secrets about the CIA that we didn't know, Chad. Some of these might shock you. There's actually a Starbucks inside the CIA headquarters, but they aren't allowed to ask for anyone's name on the drinks. Okay, I could see that.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. And this is crazy. In the 1960s, the CIA spent $20 million on a project Acoustic Kitty, which released cats with tiny microphones in their ears to spy on people in public. I think that's kind of cool.
That would make sense.
And
they've done all kinds of crazy shit like that.
In the 1950s, this is funny, dude. The CIA had a plan to airdrop lots of extra large condoms labeled small around Europe to demoralize Soviet men by suggesting American men were physically superior, bro. That's awesome. So they go to put on a small condom that's really extra large so they feel like, oh my God, America, their small condoms are fucking way too big for. That's hysterical, bro. I mean, if they're doing that to, like, mental warfare, what else are they up to, bro? Like, that's just insane. The CIA had a plot to assassinate Fidel Castro by delivering poison cigars. Yeah, but he never smoked them. We knew that.
Mm-hmm.
This is funny. The CIA's first tweet had a sense of humor. We can neither confirm nor deny that this is our first tweet. Pretty funny there, CIA.
Uh-huh.
This is crazy, dude. In the Vietnam War, the CIA launched Operation Wandering Soul, where they played scary ghost noises in the jungle to scare away Vietnam soldiers. It didn't work because those motherfuckers were crazy, the Vietnamese soldiers, fighting for their fucking land. Yeah, so I thought that was cool. We kind of knew all those. I got some...
yeah, I want to know the shit that we don't know.
Exactly.
That
exactly.
they don't talk about.
What up, Troy Garmin? Go check out his podcast. What is the name of it, Troy? Something with Troy and Howie. Something with Troy and Howie. But check it out, folks. You get some good guests on there. What up, Courtney?
Vapor Missile from YouTube said our overlords are getting pissed off that we aren't already. Yeah, I mean that's the other thing that they'd like to happen. They would literally like to have a civil war, but they don't understand. They don't understand the hell that would be fucking brought down on them if that actually happened.
Yeah, right. Jamie, welcome. Where have you been the past couple weeks? We have been talking a lot of shit on you, and you haven't been here to hear it.
I mean, it's like it's a bunch of fucking soy boys running around like, oh, we want civil war. It's like, no, you don't. You have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
And let's be honest, nobody wants that, dude. Nobody wants a war on our shores except for some fucking crazy ass people. Yeah, our guest that's coming on.
Yes, I mean, yes, that is true. They both polarize us. That is fucking 100% true. I will agree with that 100%.
I think there's a new section of the Republicans, though, that aren't like, I think the MAGA section of the Republicans, like JD Vance, like all the newer Republicans, not the people who've been part of the swamp for a long time. They're all part of the fucking system that we're against. And maybe there's some Democrats now that are going to be hopping on that wagon soon because they got to realize like what they've been. They have not been a government for the people, by the people, and they need to get back to that shit.
We need term limits.
Yeah, very, very true. We spoke about this last week, Mr. Gracey, but I'm going to share some more disturbing facts from The Wizard of Oz, folks. I don't know why I'm on this kick lately, but y'all coming with me. Let's do it. And this is how history looks, their Facebook page. The actor's makeup contained toxic copper. We knew that. We spoke about that. I don't think they get into my munchkins banging Judy Garland here, but we'll see. The actress playing the Wicked Witch suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns from this stunt.
Oh, I guess heard about that.
I thought it was from the makeup, but I guess there was actual fire that did that. And your little dog too. The original Tin Man's actor had to be replaced due to aluminum poisoning from the silver face paint.
That was Buddy Epson, yeah.
So Chad, like the guy coming in, taking over the role, like did he know why the other guy like went out? Like did he know it was because of the paint?
Well, Buddy Epson was allergic to it, but did they change the paint when Jack Haley, who played Tin Man? Did they change the paint or did they keep it the same? He wasn't allergic to it.
I don't know, dude. It seems like they weren't fucking giving a shit about much back then.
You know who Buddy Epson is, right?
No.
He was the dad on the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, get out of here, Jed. I think.
Yes. Yep.
Nice. I like the movie too. I mean, the show is great, but they did a movie years back, and they had some hot chick playing the girl.
About the newer version of it, the movie.
Yeah. I think Ernest played Jed.
He did. Yes, he did.
Yeah,
he played Jed.
Yeah. The lion's costume, Chad, was made from real lion hair and was so heavy the actor struggled to breathe in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This I didn't know that this was from the movie, but she was prescribed amphetamines in order to help her lose weight, which may have led to her drug addiction.
She was put on amphetamines, smoked cigarettes, and fucking drank a lot of coffee so she wouldn't eat and stayed thin.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
But Chad, I like how they say which may have led to her drug addiction. I'm pretty sure you start somebody on fucking amphetamines, that's gonna definitely be a major part of their drug addiction.
What's Courtney saying about James from Metallica? Courtney, what are you talking about?
Yeah, what you talking about, girl?
Where the fuck did that come
from? The dog playing Toto, Chad, was paid more daily than the Munchkins. How funny!
Oh my god! No wonder they wanted to fuck Judy Garland. The dog was paid more than them. They're like, we're gonna get some.
They were indentured servants. They're like, we're gonna get something.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Lion's costume and makeup were so complex, the actor could not eat in case they ruined it. Wow. So he had to not eat to not get anything on the set.
Courtney says the lion looks like James Hetfield.
That's hysterical.
From like back in the day when he had his long hair, maybe.
Everyone in Metallica has man wives. Look at Lars' wife. Oh, really? Giant Nephilim man pretending to be. So they have something in common with Michelle Obama then. Mike, Big Mike.
Ooh, what? I don't even see this.
I'm going to have to check it out. Yeah, I figured Lars was with some hottie, but guess not.
So.
Let's see here. Judy Garland had to go on a diet. Yeah, you said this, of coffee and cigarettes for the role. The snow used in the scene was asbestos, bro. Ooh, all right, Bobby, pull up Lars' wife while I'm going through this.
See that? He said all first ladies are men. I could look at Eleanor Roosevelt and and Barbara Bush. Come on.
But Melania does not have a dick.
Yeah,
come on now.
Melania does, but
the actor playing the Scarecrow was left with permanent scarring on his face due to the prosthetics, bro. I wonder if the glue putting it on, they took it off and it. I don't know, man.
Jamie says, have you seen Lars? Like, what? He can't have a hot wife? He's a fucking major rock star. That is a pass to have a hot wife. What are you talking about?
Major rock star, awesome drummer, and he's funny, too. He's got a little bit of a... He's not as magnanimous as Mr. Gracey, but... Oh, my God. Yeah. I mean...
Taller than him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But she could be hot to me, though. I got to see in person. But yeah, like you could see manliness to it. But I feel like if she were to be in front of me naked, I'd be like, let's go, lady. But that's just me. I don't know.
Interesting. I love it.
Judy Garland was slapped across the face.
Is he 4 feet? Yeah, Lars is short. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, that is true. He was a munchkin, Jamie. I don't know if you know this, but he was in the original Wizard of Oz, and he was one of the munchkins.
And he fucked Judy Garland.
That's right. That is right. And Liza Minnelli is his daughter.
That's right. Exactly.
So I guess, what's that guy? James Bond was on the set because Judy Garland needed a little schmack to stop.
That's right. Yeah, Sean Connery. Schmack. Give it a little schmack.
A little schmack. I got one more video, and then we're gonna hop on to our guest. But this is like, so Chad, so this is, I don't know if it's a cruise ship or something, but it's in like another country. I feel like it's an Asian country. And this guy is on rollerblades and he's coming through with like, you know, a tray of food on it, and he slips and falls. And it seems like they're going to kill him afterwards. Like the look on his face and the people around him are like, oh dude, you fucked up. You're about to die. Is my interpretation. So, but you tell me what you think. There we go. And I'll go through. Just look at everybody's face. So he's coming through. Might have to look close. Well, watch when he goes down, dude. Everybody's like, oh, fuck. This guy's like, you're fucking up, dude. Look at the guys in the background.
I mean, fans. Oh, that shit's hot, too. Oh, my God.
Very hot, bro. Look at their faces. They're all like, oh, no. And he's like... That is hot as fuck, bro. Look, he's going to get the gun. You saw that guy walking by?
Yeah.
He was going for the gun.
Well, here's the little pointer. Don't fucking serve your food on roller skates.
Right?
I mean, come on.
What
the
was
fuck
that?
is the purpose of that?
That was like the old drive-in dining place, right? Didn't they come out in rollerblades and give your food to the car and shit like that?
Roller skates, yeah. Back
roller
in the
skates.
Day, yeah.
My busy.
That was a great scene in Vacation where she brings out the food and puts the tray on his window and the window breaks, all the food falls on the ground. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. That's right. I do remember that.
Puts a small tray of food. They're all hungry.
All right, Mr. Gracey, let's go to our favorite guest, or one of our favorite guests, Mr. Joshua James, Electric Gnosis. What's going on, brother?
Howdy, gentlemen. I'm so excited to be back here for the third time. I've been more prepared this time, so ready to look the part. Maybe people think
you're looking good today, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I was going to say, all those new subscribers, bro, making you look fresh to death. I love it.
Well, I come from my first job was working at a brokerage firm, and I worked at a brokerage firm for 10 years. Okay. I had my Series 7. I was able to make stock and bond recommendations and place securities trades on the New York Stock Exchange. I've owned a business and had contract with Fortune 500 companies and employed over 25 people at one point. Contracts with AT&T, DirecTV, Walmart, Sam's Club, Fry's, Menards. So all this is my old stuff from when I was, a monkey with a tie. Right. But I think it can't hurt to look the part because, I can talk fast. And some people, if they don't follow me, they may think it's schizo or whatever, but maybe the suit will help.
Yeah, no, dude. The audience and we follow you pretty well on this show. So awesome. Talk how you talk, my man. We were getting into some things. We'll get into the plasma and stuff like that. But you shared a video with me, one of your, I don't know if it's a latest video, but going on about a woke mind virus type of scenario. And you were kind of getting into how you think it kind of started and all that jazz, if I got the grasp of it.
Yeah, basically, so whenever I stumble upon a word or a concept that I've never heard before, I always like, oh, well, what is this? So in one of my videos, somebody mentioned this thing called Wetiko, Wetiko. So I looked it up, and it's basically, the way they describe it is like not a real virus, because the Latin definition of that, I'm big on etymology. I want to know where the words came from because they can change definitions all the time. They changed what a vaccina, they changed the definition of that. It used to prevent everything, but now it just makes it to where you don't get as sick if you, it's all bullshit, right? Mm-hmm. So I go to etymology and I look at where that word came from. And the word, what am I trying to think of now? We're talking about Wetiko and the mind. Yeah, the V word, right? It means a noxious substance. So it basically meant any kind of poison, any kind of toxin that your body had to remove, not some mysterious, fake, half living, half dead Spider-Man, boogeyman, little bug thing, right? Actually, there's a guy, and we'll get into this later too, because these two topics intersect, but Andrew Kaufman, who basically used to be a virologist and has come out and said, no, they don't exist. What they're calling that thing, it's an exosome. It's an internal cleaner of your cells, and it attaches onto toxins. And again, in Latin, that would mean a noxious substance, not a bug, and escort it out of your system, right? And so what they're confusing for the V word is actually exosomes. But so when I say the V word, like a mind V, I'm more talking about like, you'd have to know, and maybe I'll explain it good enough if nobody's aware, but like what an egregore is, or what a thought form is, or what a program is, right? So think about it this way.
Now Chad and I know that, but for the audience, if you could explain, because Chad and I know, but just
think
for the
about
audience.
It this way. So let's just say a lot of people think Jesus existed for real. A lot of people think it's all a Roman story or whatever, right? But at this point, to the people that believe it, it's real. They, they live their lives like it really happened, and they believe it really happened. So in their reality, it's real among that group of people, right? So that's kind of like an egregore or a thought form, a kind of something that doesn't even have to be real, but can transfer or infect mind to mind, depending on if you think it's a good thing or a bad thing, right? But so these the Algonquins or the Native Americans had a term called Wetiko, and it was for a mind V, right? So and it's very, very similar to the word Wendigo, which was like a shapeshifter, if you know that lore from the Native Americans, right? Yes. And the way I kind of understood it from digging into both was it seems like Wetiko is the disembodied, spirit or egregore or thought form or program or cultural norm or perversion that gets assumed by a large group, right? So think about it this way. If all somebody knows, like you talk about the right and the left and the liberals and the MAGAs, and I think it's all polarity, right? Red and blue are polarized colors on the spectrum. The blended non-polarized of those two is purple. Now the Royals are purple, right? And they rule over all the divided people. So I think politics intentionally polarize at the polls into the polarity of colors, red or blue. And if you don't act right, red and blue police will come and get you. It's all about the polarity. They want us polarized, okay? So whichever way you're polarized, if you've been polarized to the extreme of one to the other, you simply are acting out of emotions and almost out of this thought form. Because if anybody does a bit of research, it's genealogical, like verified records that show that every single president is related. Okay, except for Martin Van Buren. They're all related to King John Lackland, and specifically to the Plantagenet dynasty. Now that word is French, Plantagenet. It sounds like planted gene pool, planted genetics, planted agents, Plantagenet. Okay.
Ooh.
How somebody can discover that and then just be like, oh, what a coincidence, is beyond my wildest imagination. I don't know how it happens. So what I'm suggesting is that anybody who's extremely, we're just using politics as an example. It could be religion. It could be anything, right? It could even be just the American culture, right? I did a video the other day. I got to come clean, guys. I was raised in a cult. And the whole time I'm telling them about how I was jabbed with foreign substances and my cord was cut from my mother right away. I've been poisoned since I was young, fed wrong beliefs, encouraged not to think out loud. And I'm going to expose and tell you who this cult is, right? They encourage tribal mentality that, and then at the end, it's like, my cult is America and the Catholic and Christian church and public school system. And I broke free of it, right? So whatever false beliefs that can infect or take over the minds and remove people's agency, right? Oh, well, I would rather agree with the experts because I don't want to be embarrassed by being wrong, right? So they start getting polarized and by a thought form, by an egregore, by a political program, by a religious idea, whatever you want to call it, right? And pretty soon you've got intentionally orchestrated two groups of people that they want to go to civil war. One polarized all the one side going, build back better. And, we need to let all the immigrants in because love, right? And then what they're missing on their side is they can say that every immigrant should be able to come in here legally and they should be happy and free and all that. But they're not going to be able to legally work. So where are they going to stay? Who's paying for that? So unless you're going to say, I'll take in a Spanish speaking, non-English speaking family of 4 and house them and clothe them and feed them until they can be here legally and get jobs. Then you're just standing on your soapbox and being like, oh, look at me. I have morals, but it's hollow.
Virtue
It's
signaling.
bullshit. It's only talk. And they would never, ever allow those people in their home or do anything to actually help. So it's like, yeah, bring them in and then you all do something about it. Right.
Exactly. You figure it out.
I like the fact that we have borders and that people can't go where they want. No, but the answer isn't just open them and let everybody in unless you're going to help out, pal. Right. But so then you get them programmed by that side, not thinking about the reality of it. Then you've got the other side who's like, oh, I hate all immigrants and you should kick them all out. Be a MAGA, yeah. But then like, okay, we were all immigrants. We came over here and we kicked the Indians off their land and, murdered them and gave them smaller and smaller and smaller portions of land and less rights.
True.
Neither side is right. Neither extreme, neither polarity is right. They've been infected with these thought forms. They don't have any agency to think for themselves. And they will wear whatever religious, political, social mask that they have to do because they don't have any identity outside of it, basically, is what I'm saying, right?
Right.
And this is the concept of a mind virus or Wetiko, right? And the physical manifestation of that, and I'll get into, I think that when our emotions individually and collectively are focused and strong enough, it can cause like plasma forms to manifest. There's ghosts of war that we can talk about that ties into that idea. But so the Wendigo would be like what happens to the human, right? As we degrade and become somewhat cannibalistic, but not necessarily just meat, eating each other, but cannibalizing our brothers and sisters and you know what I mean? Getting our way every time and never bending to anything, but the whole world. That's the thing on both sides too, is both sides that are extremely polarized on the ends. They both want the entire world to bend to them. Everybody else is wrong about everything and I'm right about everything. And you come to me and everything that doesn't match my beliefs is an outrage. Right. But really what needs to happen is those people we need to come together towards the middle and realize that the only reason we hate each other is because we've been programmed and infected by a thought form, an egregore, a design, a plan to polarize us so that we fight against each other over religion, guns, abortion, immigration, this, that'll never, ever be fixed or get better because it's intentionally the things that they use to divide us so we don't unite against the 1% that is dividing everything, who also controls the media and who also and controls the money, right? Because 96% of the wealth is controlled by 1% of the population, and 96% of the media is controlled by 5 companies. So it's like it's all intentional division, intentional polarization, and what's end up happening is they are MK Ultra-ing us without having to bring us into secret lab, right? Through most people are born into poverty these days. Most people are born into single parent families where the mom can't support. Most people have to live with roommates, and all they see in the news and pop culture is violence and negative stuff. They never have any good stuff on the news. You know, they want us fearful, dumb, sick, and divided, so both sides can work together to continue to rule over all of us, in my opinion. And what that's produced, it's produced through that trauma that I've described. Split. You've seen the movie Split, right? So after a certain amount of trauma, a psyche will not be able to handle it, and it will split. That will allow that person to be a zombie, an NPC, infected by a demon, right? Or possessed by a demon, or programmed by a thought form, right? So that's.
I have a quick question, Josh.
Yeah, go ahead.
So these people at the top, that control the money and stuff like that, are they in cahoots with each other? Like, are they communicating with each other and trying to have all this stuff come to light, or are they kind of working individually towards the same goal because, they have all the money and it's just a natural way for them to kind of, try to control it and control the people? Is it coordinated?
Well, let's say that there's a group of people that is way smarter than any of us that knows when these reset cycles happen, right? And for the longest time, whether you go back to Greece or whatever, they had a thing called Hegelian dialect, right? Where they would present two sides of an issue, but both arguments were controlled by representatives of people who wanted to shape your thought. So it's like they create the narrative, but then they also intentionally create the counter narrative too. That way they're in control of the counter narrative. So that's called controlled opposition. So that'd be people like Joe Rogan, who everybody thinks, oh, he's telling us the truth. But then as soon as he gets the big Spotify deal, he backs off the fact that the earth is shape of the earth or the moon landing and changes tune real quick on important issues, right? So anybody who's really, really, really propped up and given a platform and not shadow banned or, they're all controlled opposition. Wow. Alex Jones, controlled opposition. Joe Rogan, controlled opposition. Let's say they want us with the liberal agenda, right? So what they do is they play bad cop, good cop, bad cop. Let's get Joe Biden in there. He's senile. He can't even form words. He sniffs children. He wants to open all our borders. He takes showers with his granddaughter. Let's get the reaction to that so bad that they'll accept anything that we put in front of them as the solution. Good cop, bad cop. And then they'll ignore all the negative stuff he does, like say he's the father of the vaccine and you should definitely get it and encourage, you know what I mean? Like the people who support him are blinded to his negative things just as much as the left is blind to, in my opinion. And I think whether there's two groups or not, basically it's one group that might have some in-faction fighting and stuff, but every single president is related to each other and to the Plantagenet dynasty besides Martin Van Buren. The odds of that happening with two groups fighting for control of something is astronomical. This is why we're only given two choices, because it's like giving a kid that wants to drive in the back seat, give him a little fake steering wheel attached to the back seat. He thinks he's driving, he quits whining about not having control, right? You think about your nephew at 3 years old wants to play PlayStation with you. You don't want him screwing up your game. You give him an unplugged controller, one with dead battery, he thinks he's playing, right? If voting mattered, they wouldn't let us do it. I'm telling you this. It's the biggest illusion that people have to wake up from at this point is politics and religion. It's all meant to control us. The word religion actually comes from Latin, and it means to religare, to rebind. It's a ligature. It's a binding of the mind. And government means to control mind, mentality, govern, control, government. They control your minds.
So and now that you're saying the two-party system is kind of designed to just have them put forth whatever they want on the right and whatever they want on the left, and we don't get to think about anything in the middle or on the the front side, the back side. Like, we only get to think about the two things that they're telling us to think about.
Binary choices create polarity. Yep, that's what they want. So we don't realize that there's intentional division. It's 100%. And there might be like, okay, so we can point to certain ones who have done good things or something, but if I eat a bowl full of turds and get one Captain Crunchberry in it, I'm not gonna be like, oh, this bowl's better than that one. No, it's still a bowl full of turds with one freaking piece of candy in it. That's it.
Yeah, one sweetness.
Right? Make you think that he's good, that it's good, right?
And
then people end up having Stockholm syndrome. They defend their captors because there's a psychological condition called cognitive dissonance. And when you shape your whole identity around something you believe true, most people can't handle the fact that that might not be true. So they won't even look into it, and they'll just rage, and their emotions will come out and they'll project. And it's just, that's part of the mind virus. That's part of the Wetiko that I'm talking about.
Right. And John, you mentioned that are the elites coordinated? I think they are. You got the Bilderbergs, you got the Bohemian Grove, you got the Trilateral Commission, you got all these friggin' basically
the World Economic Forum. Oh, and a big one is APAC.
Yes.
APAC is the one that every single president and major politician that we had come through this is funded by APAC, which is like the American Israeli something, right? And what it really gets down to is this. It's crazy. The people that are claiming anti-Semitism, when we notice patterns, they're not even Shemites. Okay, they're not Semites. So the people who are claiming to be Jewish over there in Israel with the Zionist state and stuff, they trace their lineage back to Ashkenaz in the Bible. And Ashkenaz did not come from Shem. So Shem created his line as the Shemites. So the Shemites are really the Palestinians. So they've these group called the Ashkenazis, these Eastern Europeans, some call them the Khazars from Khazaria. They basically converted, and they're not real Jews. They are in the Bible what they call the synagogue of Satan, right? And they pretend they've erased the real Jewish identity, and then they are at the head, or at least the face, of all these atrocities that have been going on. And then the Christians are like, oh, those are the Jews of the Bible. We need to support them, right? Wow. And then they hide behind the anti-Semitism shield, but they're not even Semites. They've stolen an identity. They're these cone-headed, Rh-negative, Ashkenaz, Eastern European, Khazarian converts.
And we're still warring over that portion of land to this day. And for people that, according to you, it's not even their land to begin with. The people, it is the Palestinians' land.
Well, who knows how far back the story goes? Who knows who originally had it? And ultimately, we're all mutts anyway. But I don't think at any point anybody can just say, hey, that used to be ours, so we're going to kick you off now. I mean, if we're going to support that idea, then we all need to get the F out and let the Native Americans live in our homes too, right? True. We just need to go somewhere else, because if that's what we think that the fake Jews deserve, then we do too. We deserve to get out, and the Native Americans deserve to have their land back too, right?
Well, and the Native American, it was their land way,
and who had it before them? Who knows?
Yeah.
There's cyclical cataclysms in this place, and there's different people who own lands, and the whole idea of what is Jewish anyway, right? Because is it a maternal thing? They say your mom has to be, but yet you can convert. So is it a ethnicity? Is it a religion? Well, at this point, It's been reduced to a shield that the fake ones use to hide behind and say, oh, you notice patterns, anti-Semite. It's very clear.
But yeah, so just to get back to your point, the fact that we are so butthurt to give these Semites, Israelis back their land, that was taken fucking 2,000 years ago or even longer than that. And we don't give a shit about giving the Native Americans back their land, which was 300 or 400 years ago, is crazy that we're worrying about thousands of years old.
Don't even think about that, right? So there's much blind support for this Israeli agenda and stuff. But then it's if you think that's justified, then you better get out of your home too and give it to some Native American that's living on a desert patch with no water and in poverty and, alcoholic now because they can't tolerate that stuff real well. And the government,
hey, we gave them casinos. Come on.
That's right.
Yeah. But most of those are run by the evil ones who started working with the government. The true blues who held out are on these little patches of land in misery for the most part. Yeah. Sad stuff.
They're growing tobaccos and shit, trying to live off the land.
Which we all should doing. Yeah, this place is a garden, but it's been usurped by technocrats that are greedy and want to control everything. It's sad, but I do agree with Mark. I think that in the end, there is a sentient nature to this realm, and that there is a magical nature to it, and that the physical world right now is governed by basically what you could call evil, inverse nature of what God would be, or love, or joy, or freedom. But there are cycles to this, and that's coming to an end, and there'll be an alpha omega event, and for a while God will win. But then from the Christian perspective, right? Well, then later there'll be a change in the ages, like the Satya Yuga and the Yuga cycle and the precession of the equinox and the Greek Iron Bronze Age, and then we'll fall again, and we'll have another short season of Satan, as they'd call it. The Christians would call it. But so I think that we are at the Kali Yuga, the most debased time right now. And very soon there will be a cataclysm. It'll send the elites, like we talked about earlier, underground. I've actually got some new theories around that. I think that.
Let's hop on that. But I have a quick question before you go there, Josh.
Sure.
So do you think, because these cyclical cataclysm events that happen, it seems like it's set up by design because eventually evil wins and like this is the only way to kind of rid it and start over. Is there a scenario where the evil doesn't win and then good kind of takes over and then that cycle could stop, or no?
So the Hopi talk about that. That we're in the fifth world, and their end time prophecy, or their Alpha Omega event, is that, yeah, there's going to be a severe, humans can take one or two paths, right? And depending on which one they take, there's either going to be, a very good outcome or a very, very, very destructive end time type of cataclysmic event again. So I think that we are in a sentient feedback loop. So let me explain. Our emotions are, and our brain waves are electromagnetic. We are biophotonic, light, and electromagnetic beings. Our brain works through electricity. Everything works through electricity. You know what I mean? Like, we're not just, it's crazy how much of this stuff has been hidden from us and how disconnected people are to this. But we are absolutely bioelectric beings, right? And when we have an emotion, that literally sends vibrations, electric vibrations, out into the air. The air isn't empty. It's like a sea of gas. It causes ripples, which causes resonant vibrations, right? And resonant patterns. So I think that whatever's below us, maybe the black hole, sun, energetic source of what's going on up there. And Robert Temple talks about these things called Kordylewski clouds, which are basically sentient, dusty plasma clouds up above us. I think we're in some kind of sentient feedback loop. And through this, we're in basically in an ocean of emotion, an electromagnetic ocean that reverberates towards us. And when the reason no man knows the hour when this stuff happens is because it's dependent on how inverted we get, as how far away we fall, how perverted we become, right, as a collective, right? But I also think that in some way that those cycles are governed by the stars. In astrology, there's a lot more to it than people think, So I think there's energetic cycles governed by the stars that humanity collectively goes through. But there's room to figure out when it's going to happen or the severity of it based on the energetic feedback coming from our emotions and being reflected back to us. Because all this thing is we're in a closed system of echoes and ripples. I promise you that.
Yeah, I believe that. It seems like that we're kind of coming upon the cycle of where things reset around the 11,600, 12,000 year range from the last time that it supposedly happened. But it almost seems like in humanity that there's like a spark of like a glimmer of hope now. Like maybe like say the brief moment of Satan has been here for a little bit, but it seems like maybe good could kind of come in and kind of get rid of some of this bad shit that's going on.
I mean, it could. I think that if we collectively awaken enough, see, everybody's given up their own agency. They've given up their own agency to adopt whatever political or religious or what a cultural mindset that's been placed upon them. And very few people are willing to make decisions for themselves. But I think that if we collectively understand the reality of these past events, these cyclical events, that they happen, and we like combine that with the fact to understand that, there's so many studies that show plasma is sentient. So if enough of us, I think we can individually change our own reality through thought. Think about the placebo effect, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. How far could you go with that individually? Collectively, there's been transcendental meditation done by large groups of Buddhists that have reduced the crime rate in Washington. So what could our collective remembrance of the fact that this event has happened before, plasma is sentient, and this event needs to happen again, what could that cause? Now, if it did, I think it's got to happen. I do. I don't think we're going to turn this around. I don't. I think the evil is too entrenched, and I think there's too many people still sleeping and divided and possessed by this mind virus or whatever you want to call it. But if I look at the Bible, which I'm not a Bible thumper, as you all know, but I look at all ancient texts and I look how they compare. What do they say that matches other ones? Because that's probably
what do they have in common?
Right? Yeah. So in the Bible, we have people like Ezekiel, Elijah, and Enoch getting taken up by like wheels, right? And shown the heavens, right? I always thought that was kind of silly, But then I started thinking about these plasma balls, right? And these sentient plasma balls, and these sentient plasma orbs that everybody sees. And then I started thinking about the Hopi myths, right? The Hopi, not even myths, they're oral history. It's an insult to call them myths. That's my theology, and then history is his story, right? So their oral history says that the true of heart, right? Before this fire cataclysm happened last time, there were, here's what I think amounts to sentient plasma. They said moving stars, wingless shields, and strange clouds. And they would guide the pure of heart that could see them. Because the thing is, the reason why mystics fast is because when you reduce your digestive load and you start meditating a bunch, the cones in your eyes activate instead of the rods, and you start seeing the red light spectrum, and you see the angels and the demons in this world and the plasma balls and stuff. So
have you gotten there? Have you gotten there, Joshua?
I'm not there yet, but I know intuitively from my research and digging around and the way dicyanin goggles work and what they were seeing the pilots in like World War II and stuff. I know it's possible. I know 100% without a doubt in my mind that it's possible. And 99% of the stuff I used to just like know intuitively. Eventually I figured out the science, but through curiosity to prove that, yes, it was real. And no matter what terminology or words you use to explain it, you know, it's real. So the Hopi talk about the pure of heart being led by those things to this god or advanced being called Sotuknang. And Sotuknang took them underground to be protected by the ant people while the world was reset by fiery cataclysms, volcanoes, all that stuff, right? So I do think that there are the wheels within wheels, the Ezekiel's wheels, the angels, the demons. I think they're all the same thing. And I think that just like in South Park, there's that episode where they get taken up on an alien ship. And I mean, it's not aliens, but in the show it is. And this being starts presenting itself to them in many different ways. And they're like, why are you looking like Oprah Winfrey? And they're like, oh, sorry. And they changes into Tom Cruise or something. I was like, why are you looking like Tom Cruise? Like, I'm just trying to find an avatar or a form that you will be comfortable with. Kind of like the Be Not Afraid in the Bible, where there's winged cherubs with 6 wings and 20 eyes and shit, right? And seraphim means fiery serpent, by the way, which is plasma. So finally it turns into, Cartman goes, could you be a taco pooping ice cream? And it turns into a taco that walks around and poops out ice cream. And they're like, we all good with this? We all good? Yeah, right? So I think whether somebody sees demons or angels, no, aliens aren't even real, bro. I'm going to not even look at the stuff that gets thrown up. I'm just going to keep talking. I think people, whether they see angels or demons, are going to be dependent on how they view the world and what they deserve to see. But I think they're the same thing. I think they're the red light spectrum. And that's why when people in war don the dicyanin goggles that are made out of like coal tar properties, it removes the other light spectrum, allows the red to shine through, and they get scared and won't even put them on anymore because they say they're seeing demons. Well, why do some people see angels and some people see demons? Well, these guys were committing acts of war when they saw the demons. All my friends that tell me that they see the sentient nice orbs and the angels and send me pictures of them and stuff, none of them are afraid. It's probably because they have pure hearts and they're not out murdering people and for oil and control, right? As some sick puppet of some evil empire, right? So whether you know you're acting in evil or not, like, you know, I really, really do think that we're going to start seeing the red light spectrum. More and more of us are, and we're going to see the angels and the demons and the wheels and the sentient plasma stuff. And that's what all those old stories are about with the Hopi and Ezekiel and Elijah and Enoch and all that.
On us being able to see the red light spectrum, do you think there's other things humans have lost along the way during these great resets? As far as like just using their brain to manipulate the environment, like we were talking earlier, like if you use sound vibrations, you could turn stone into sand and all this stuff. Like, and we kind of got away from that, and we went to like technology, like in phones, rather than like what humans naturally have in them. Do you think that we kind of got away from that stuff and we had more abilities way back in the Dizzy?
Chad, you're a music fan. You weren't just a drummer for live. You love music, right?
I do love music, yes.
All right. So you know the song Radar Love?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
By Teddy. When I get lonely and I feel it's been too much, she sends a cable coming in from above. We don't need no ladders at all. We got a thing. It's called Radar Love. Okay?
Radar Love.
The thing that's standing in the way of that right now is the magnetic field. Okay? Tons of research within the U.S. and declassified Russian stuff shows that on days and times when the magnetic field is weaker, ESP, telepathy, and remote viewing go up. So their magnetic field is weakening right now. The magnetic field is both the veil to our telepathy, ESP, and to how far the auroral discharge, the northern lights, aurora borealis, can be seen extending. So with the magnetic field weakening, what are we seeing? The northern lights in more southern and southern areas recently over the past couple of years, right? Just there's a big story about how a couple nights ago there was, you could see them as far as almost in Arizona, so south, right? It's actually away from the strongest point of magnetism on our realm. It's not south, it's away from the. But anyway, that the magnetic field is when that weakens or goes away, we're gonna see those northern lights come further, and we're going to see the throne of God, the jasper, the red, the stuff that they talk about being the throne of God everywhere, not just in the north, right? And
is that cyclical as well? The weakening of the.
I think so, and I think it might be tied to us. I think it might be part of this sentient loop that when we get inverted, it goes, and when it flips, I think that's what triggers the event, the inversion of the magnetic field, right? But not only does it stand in the way as the veil between our ESP and telepathy and the need for words and letters and stuff like that, right? But it also prevent it when it's gone or weakened. It will be easier to see the auroral discharges, not only that are from the northern lights, but when things, whatever comets are, when they get close to us, they ionize the gas too to a plasma state. They start emitting electrons, and they form patterns that reflect magnetic fields, right? So the Paul Simon song, "And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made." Sounds of silence, right? There's going to be like things up there that look like neon gods in our sky. We're going to start seeing them. And, that's what that song's about. So, to answer your question, I do think there were different times when we had way more power of our minds. I think some people still have it, and it's like a muscle. You can work it out. But I think there's cycles. And in the cycle where the magnetic field is weak, the only reason that we have letters and words right now is because of the magnetic field. I think that we were telepathic in the other cycle. Yeah.
Josh, I think you ever have, like they say, like those gut feelings. I think those gut feelings that people get are part of the past that we left behind. Like that where, like, I got to get the fuck out of here. Something doesn't feel right. Like, I feel like that's you tapping into those things that we lost along the way.
Yeah. And even if it's not the memory, right? So check this out. Tesla said his brain was just a receiver. So I started looking at it like this. What if my brain is just a receiver? And what if everything vibrates, right? So my brain waves are vibrating. I have a specific brainwave state. You can only turn into like a radio station, Magic 108, if you turn the dial and pick up that specific station, right? True. So what if the experiences that we have are dependent upon what radio station we're tuned into, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I forgot where I was going with that, but that was in relation to your question.
Well, yeah, but it just resonates with me so much because there's some times where it's like I have a sixth sense or something in my gut tells me, I'm like, this
you
is
do have a sixth
real.
sense. Now you have a second brain in your gut, right? And the word gut is like the letters used to be there used to not be vowels in old languages, and a lot of transliteration has happened. So think about Vianca and Bianca. Think about Joshua, Yeshua. Think about the Chinese people. They'd say alien, or they would say Aryan. It's an Aryan, right? So the R's, the L's, the B's, the V's. When my grandma said the word package, she would say package, and it would sound like a G, right? So the word God is basically the same word as gut. 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 So when you get a gut feeling, right, you have a second brain in your gut. Additionally,
gut feeling.
We have something called a pineal gland in our head. Most people's is calcified over. They're taking in so much aluminum, so much calcium that they don't need, and they've got a crusty ass pineal gland. Now, Rene Descartes, famous French philosopher, said that was the seat of the soul, and that a clean functioning pineal gland, and it goes further because you got to have the kundalini or the cerebral spinal fluid or the Christ juice or the Christum or the colostrum or whatever you want to call it, rise up your 33 vertebrae, Jacob's ladder, and saturate your uncalcified pineal gland. And then it turns into like a radio. Where did Jacob in the Bible say he met God? At the land of Peniel. I'm sure that's just a coincidence, right?
And the pineal gland, that's where DMT comes from in your.
Yeah, so from conscious breathing, you can get it to secrete DMT and dimethyltryptamate, and that is the spirit molecule, right? And some people, whether they smoke that or mix it with an MAOI inhibitor to be able to ingest it via drinking, it can cause very, very, very psychedelic experiences, right? But you got to think
that could be your brain tuning into the frequency, right?
It
like
absolutely
it
is. The Mexicans and Aztecs called mushrooms the flesh of God, right? And we think when they went to do communion in the old ages, it was really just some dry ass wafer. No, it was a sacrament. It was to get your mind in a sacred state, sacrament.
Yep.
And they were giving out mushrooms, the flesh of God. You ate the flesh of your God, not the crusty ass wafer and supposed to be the, you know what I mean? It's silly how perverted, how dumb it's become. And it's so easy to see when you just get eyes to see it. And it's like, wow. And then intuition takes over. And it's like, no, this makes way more sense. You know what I mean?
And the fact that the burning bush is supposedly an ayahuasca tree and stuff like that.
Acacia. The acacia tree. Now look at this. Acacia has DMT in it. Additionally, what do the Hindus call it when you tap into the larger field? It's the Akashic field. Right. And you get there by taking the acacia bark that has DMT. It's all right there. And I notice these things. I don't know how many other people do, but when I say them and realize them, it's like a real-time realization. And I don't think I get the reaction that they deserve from people. Because it's like, to me, when I realize that, like the pineal, and the acacia, tomato, it blew my mind, right? But
well, no, you're getting that reaction from us, but Chad and I kind of have been thinking along those wavelengths for a little bit, so that's why we're not like, oh my God, really? People listening, but people listening should totally be like that. It's just we've kind of been. This is like a trio of brainwaves. You just kind of
I wasn't projecting that at you. I just mean in videos that I've made, right? There's so many that I expect to go viral, but then the thing is on my YouTube, you don't even have the opportunity to hype my stuff. Everybody who's below 100,000 is you're supposed to be able to hype them. I tried to to promote them, and I tried to monetize my YouTube, just get ads from the advertisements money.
Yeah,
and they said no, you don't. Your material's not original. All you do is throw up other people's stuff and comment on it. I'm like, no, I literally have the most original stuff on YouTube, probably.
100%.
They don't, I mean, it is what it is, and I continue to soldier on.
The way around that is because I see your videos, just take a cutout of your face because you're showing pictures and stuff and it's all your voice in the background. Just take a cutout of your face and have it over every picture that you are talking about. And then that will make it your content. Because we had somebody on last week who was getting the same thing. And because she's talking about, she's showing pictures and videos that she's commenting on. So it's her content. And they were saying like, no, you're using other people's content. So all she did was put her face
okay,
over.
So I got to be one of those morons who either does it live and inserts my face in everything I talk about. Right. Well,
unfortunately,
at least I have a face for YouTube. If I had a face for radio, I'd be hesitant.
Yep.
Got to play the game sometimes, right?
Unfortunately,
I'm about to start playing it a lot harder. I'm about to go hard in the paint. All my chips are in. I don't know if I told you guys, but I was supposed to start work about 2 or 3 weeks ago, another full-time job. And last minute, I just told them no. I rescind my offer. Dude. I've got about a third of the money I need per month. I don't have a car. I don't have a license. I don't have a kid. I have a small budget. If I can make $1,200 a month, I can make it by. And I've got about a third of that coming in from Patreon, from people who found my YouTube and just want to help out and love the stuff that I'm doing. So
and what is that
I'm all in, and I just I'm committed to sharing the things, the dots that I connect, and hopefully helping other people. I don't know. I don't want to use the word wake up, come to deeper realizations about the truths of these worlds and develop more of a sense of agency about themselves and not outsourcing every decision and thought and idea. And, I'll be the man in the arena while I'm doing that and, show people how to do it, right? Reclaim your agency.
Absolutely. Well, I love it. So, you got your lifestyle down to where, you have a budget you could manage and you're not living above your means and you're following your passion and dreams and hopefully waking up minds along the way, dude. It's a win-win. It's a struggle, maybe, but you're doing what you love.
It's hard work not having a job.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I mean, it sounds like it's not, but putting out these videos, doing your research, there's a lot of work that goes into that, man.
Yeah, but like you said, it's not work when it's passion. So I work.
Correct.
I spend a lot of time and I'm very committed and dedicated and obsessive about it, but it's not hard work because I love it. Right. Yeah.
Well, that's what I tell everybody. The key. Yeah. Well, I think the key to life is not money, doing shit for money. Do things that you love to do and you won't have to work a day in your life. And that is literally key. And then if you make some shekels doing it, you're going to die a happy person.
That's what I'm doing, and I'm all into the wheels fall off trying to make it happen. And it's the early response to people committing to Patreon or sending me money via Cash App or Chime or PayPal. Overwhelming.
Yeah,
I never would have thought it would have grew so fast from October. I had a YouTube ban in October, and then everybody told me, hey, get Patreon just in case, so I did. And it's like, I didn't even know what it was. I didn't think people were just going to pay me for
what is it? Patreon.com/ is it Electric Gnosis?
Electric Gnosis, yeah. Yeah, and there's tiers as low as $1.11 a month. Just so you can support, right? And if I had that from every one of my subscribers, I'd make so much money I wouldn't know what to do with it. I'd have to give some of it away to somebody else who needed it. But there's other tiers that you can get one-on-one chats with me every month and stuff like that. But I'm just trying to grow it.
Cool.
Thanks for giving me the chance to talk about it a little bit. I don't want to be a salesman on this show. I want to get back to entertaining the people. If the entertainment is enough, they'll find that shit.
There you go. Yeah, well, I just want to come on. I mean, we have you on here because we love, all the things that you're doing, and we want you to continue and be able to do it. So that's why we want to promote what you got going on. Of course, man. So Journey's song, "The Wheels in the Skies Keep on Turning," he's talking about the wheels in the sky that were carrying people up from biblical times, I believe.
He could be. I know I just found out like on the cover of a Boston album, it looks like it's a spaceship, but it's really like a city in the sky inside of a spaceship descending.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I would say like, if you're looking for some like classic rock songs that talk about this plasma event, I would say, well, for Getting Carried Up, maybe it's Float On by Modest Mouse. But as far as classic rock talking about the plasma apocalypse, Chad, do you know the band Sweet, the song Ballroom Blitz?
I know Ballroom Blitz. Yeah, I didn't know the band. But
so they say something about
absolutely.
There's a man in the back who's got his arms to the sky, and and there's a girl. There's a girl in the corner, and she'll kill you at the wink of her eye. And then they say, "Oh yeah, it was electric, so frightfully hectic," and the band started leaving because they all stopped breathing.
That was that dude you brought on last show, right? With the arms up.
Squatterman Atlas holding up the
Squatterman, yes.
The plasma discharge, and yeah, that's that one's obviously about the event. And then even like let's see, Under Pressure, right? Under Pressure too, but yeah.
Oh yeah, Queen and David Bowie, man, can't go wrong with that. But so what's in there?
The terror of knowing what this world's about, watching some good friends scream, "Let me out!" because we are under pressure. The gas above us has weight; it has mass. Right.
And then he goes into that language that maybe wasn't old. System. And then he goes into that language that isn't words, that maybe he's pulling back from back in the day. Da 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 boom. And he starts going to fucking. Maybe he's talking in that ancient language that they were using to
very well could
turn rock into stone. You don't know, man.
It's crazy. There's so many secrets in the music, and here's I just want to say this, right? I don't know if we can talk about this, but if we can't, just shut me down. But Chad, you were in live, right? I heard you. I never, I think I said something one time that I'm sure you didn't really think I was accusing you. Right. But, the entertainment industry in Hollywood and in, music, a lot of them are plants, and a lot of the lead, like the front men, they call them the front men. Why do they call them the front man? Right? Who gets on stage? The stage. He gets on stage. Whether the whole band were raised in secret societies and plants and given the put in that position, my research has led me to think that a lot of the front men are definitely. You know what I mean? So, Did you ever have any indication that Ed was in some kind of secret society or Freemason or cult or raised by like Jesuits or anything like that? Any?
Good question.
Any inkling of that? Does he have a small, soft upside down egg, soft, rounded jaw?
He kind of looks like an alien, a gray, that's white.
He has a large head. I know that. I know he was raised Catholic. Is it a square
jaw or is it a rounded upside down egg shaped jaw?
God, I have to look at a picture of him. I don't know off the top of my head.
I think it's that rounded egg shape.
Any kind of suspicion about him? Was he still successful after the band broke up?
No, not in his solo career. He is successful now that he has basically hijacked the band and
is touring under the name.
Yeah, but he's the one out of the band that's still doing the thing and making the money from live and all that, right?
Right. So I mean, I don't know if he's been infiltrated. I mean, he could have been. His ego seems to be just off the fucking charts now. So allegedly, they could have gotten to him, but I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, the thing is just so many songs to be written by ghostwriters, not who the artist is, and then there's just way too much truth in there when I look at it. And even like the album cover had like a giant green reptilian looking guy leading people off a cliff with a book that looked like the Bible, right? So it makes me wonder.
That was picked by our manager. Our manager at the time, he collected that guy's art, and he's the one that told us to put it on there. So I mean, well, I guess.
Quick question, Chad.
Yeah.
Did Ed come into your guys' lives in 8th grade, or is that just the story of when the band started? Because
Chad went to elementary school with him, and then we all.
Damn it! Because I was going to say that could be when the CIA dropped his ass off if he just came in at that point. And
yeah, I mean, listen, I've been asked this before. We all grew up together. I don't ever remember seeing anything or hearing anything or noticing anything that was outside of our sphere of influence, like trying to get to us. But I'm not with everybody 24/7, and I don't know what's going on with him now. So with Ed especially, I mean, so who knows?
Josh, wouldn't that
at least want to bring it up because I don't get an opportunity that someone was that close and get to ask them and see how they react and all that stuff.
I always felt like we never attained the level. I always felt like we never attained that crazy stratospheric level of fame where they would come for us.
Yes, you did.
In that way.
So yeah, like the one album Artist of the Year, 1999. Lightning Crashes and.
Yeah, we never went into like stadiums. Like that seems like kind of
maybe if you are organic, there's a certain level that you can't get past unless you're willing to like invert your kids or sacrifice somebody, something like that.
Josh, don't you think? Real quick, don't you think this is what they would say if they were hijacked by the CIA? Like, oh yeah, I never saw anything, but could have.
Yes, but for some reason, I have a good feeling about Chad. I don't think he's part of it, but I think he could be oblivious to the fact that that Ed was. No offense, right? So I'm just asking tough questions, and
like I said, I wasn't with him 24/7.
Yeah, I appreciate you being a good sport about it. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of secrets in the music, and a lot of the music and movies hide the knowledge of these cyclical resets for sure. But so I wanted to crack that question out. But what other we talked about the mind virus, right? The Wetiko that you wanted me to talk about. And then I want to talk
one
a
other
little
thing.
bit about.
You posted a picture. We'll hop in that, but just so my brain doesn't go, you posted a picture of what people are reporting as, I think, Starlink satellites being launched into the air, but you think it's something else, right? Is that picture you posted?
Well, I'll tell you how it started for me, right? I mean, at this point, I just question everything, right? I question everything. And maybe it was about a year ago when everybody all over the world saw these two counter-rotating, like blue spirals in the air. And it was like expanding, and they tried to say it was Starlink or Musk or whatever. And to me, it just didn't seem like it was. And y'all know me, right? I have 5 years of ADD obsessed experience diving into petroglyphs and comparing them to plasma discharge patterns. So if I can go back in my screenshots or do some more digging on the internet and find 3, 4, 5, 6 different petroglyphs that are that exact same shape that was supposed to be Starlink up in the sky or whatever, SpaceX, then I think that that's a cover for what it really is. Okay. So the last one about a week or two ago, and I did find those petroglyphs, by the way, the rock art, the carvings, right? They looked exactly like the SpaceX crap about a year ago. This latest one looked like a bomb pop, like the 4th of July. It was like red, white, and blue. There's even like a Squadron figure in the white portion of it. And that is plasma discharge, 100%. Now, could it have been caused by something they sent through the air? Yeah. Do I think it's SpaceX? I really don't. Could I be wrong? Sure.
Right. But yeah, it's just too, like, for them to say that that's a satellite being launched. Like, I've never seen any other satellites being launched that look like that. Like when you see them launch live and stuff like that, you never see that. So it's just like,
yeah, it seems like a gas. Well, that's funny, right? What is plasma but gaslight? And then they gaslight us about the gaslight, right? What else is plasma? Hot air. So when they say we're full of hot air, when you figure out what the real, they gaslight you and tell you you're full of hot air. So yeah, I do think that was plasma, the gaslight.
Yeah, man. So, and what would that? So what would be the point of covering that up? Because if they are covering that up, I mean that's at the highest level. So that means they know something is in the air, and they're saying it's something else. Yeah,
they don't want. Yeah, they don't want us knowing much about this event that's coming because when we live in fear, we're easier to control, right? And we're easy to program. So they don't want us to know what's really going on with this stuff. I would say also, could you imagine if could you imagine if everybody everywhere started seeing signs and wonders in the sky? And, they're probably conditioning us these events start to accept them as rocket launches, right? And then when we see more of them, they'll have Russia and Germany were involved in a slight skirmish in their space programs, or whatever. They'll always have some bullshit to cover it up. But if everybody knew here that these were signs and wonders and plasma phenomenon that were signaling an alpha omega event, we wouldn't be good little financial slaves for very long. Everybody would start reading their Bible or moving out to the woods or prepping or whatever, right? They don't want that. They don't want that. They want us to stay up here when they eventually go underground. It's just like the TV show and the video game Fallout, where there's an underground civilization. Only they say it's because of a nuclear war, but I think it's because of a natural. This plasma event would cause deadly synchrotron radiation, like insane amounts of radiation, probably enough that would hang around for like 1,000 years. So they'd have to be down there for probably 1,000 years or so, approximately. Wow. And what's going to go on up here is, look, I'm telling you, this may sound schizo and deranged or whatever, but there's so much stuff that they tell you about in the movies, cartoons, pop culture, everything, the truth, but just veiled and disguised a little bit. So I start thinking about, well, what would radiation do to the people who it didn't kill? It'd probably mutate them. Okay, well, there's already like some evidence based on the Book of Giants and the Sumerian tablets that we are already hybrid in some sort of way with animals, actually. So after this event happens, I think about things like the X-Men, where there's a mutated people, right, by radiation. I think about, so what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? We could mutate from this synchrotron radiation that this event causes while they're underground. I think about cartoons like the Muppet Babies, where there's these hybrids being watched over in a nursery by a faceless, hidden, there's no, Nanny has no face. We never see her face. And he's watching over all these hybrid children in a nursery, right? They're orphans too, right? And then you've got what else?
Well, on that though, so the person putting that forward though,
drop this real quick. So don't forget Shrek, right? If you look up, remember how I told you about the Lachlan's and the Plantagenets? If you look up a picture of the Plantagenet family, Richard III specifically, I believe, if I remember correctly, he looks just like Lord Farquaad from Shrek. And what happens in Shrek? The king goes around kicking all the fairy tale creatures out of the garden, right? So I'm telling you, I think that's what's going to happen. There's a bunch of us, or a lot of us are going to die up here. Some are going to get whisked up by sentient plasma wheels to the sky to survive it. Some are going to take underground and meet the ant people. Some people are going to be left up here to die and to mutate. And then there's going to be 1,000 years where they're underground and there's a bunch of X-Men, Muppet Baby, Shrek creatures running around here before they reemerge. And we're basically set back to the Stone Age because we couldn't recreate phones and and they come back with the secrets of magnetism that they retained and are seen as the magicians or the magi because they know about magnetism, right? And they slowly go around conquering and enslaving and then wiping out the memory of all the indigenous tribes and the fairy tale creatures and stuff. That's what I think happened.
So the people then putting this stuff in like movies and TV shows, is it people that are part of the upper echelon, or is it people that are just kind of stumbling upon information and trying to get it out there?
Okay, let's get this real clear. Remember how I told you earlier about the Ashkenazi group, the fake Jews, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. That's about 90% of the Jewish population in America. There's other sects of Jewish people that are like maybe more real, but that sect, the Ashkenazi, the Eastern European line from Ashkenaz, that may be the same as the Khazars, they're 2% of the American population, okay? 60% of Hollywood, actors, directors. Think about how many movies are directed by Cohen.
Right.
That's a Kohanim. That's a Kohanim. That's an ancient type of Jewish Levite priest. Cohen is Kohanim. It's Levite priest, right? And it's most of them in prominent roles change their names. Like Bob Dylan went to Robert Zimmerman, so and they change their names and use stage names so you don't connect them with their Ashkenazi descent. But
oh, wow.
yeah. Now, why do they tell us about this stuff? I got a couple ideas. It could be that keeping us like some people say that they believe they're karmically cleansed of their actions if they tell us what they're doing and we just ignore it and go along with it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
One thing I think maybe too is why all the fear from the control people. Well, if the next age that's coming is a Saturnian golden age, the Satya Yuga with ionized air, more oxygen, giants, no seasons, everything's green and bountiful, electro-horticulture develops naturally. Could there be a psychotic race that's above us, the hidden hand with longer skulls that lives underground, that wants to trigger this cycle to return because they enjoy that cycle more? So they're intentionally harvesting loosh or causing us to be in fear and emit negative emotion to get trapped in the sentient feedback loop I was talking about earlier, right? So
right.
Why do they do it? I don't know. Why do they tell us? I don't know. But those are some of the ideas that I have about it. But regardless of why, it's impossible to not deny that it is happening. We can theorize about why, but it is happening. Yeah,
right.
Definitely tell us.
It could be just unwritten rules of the game that we haven't uncovered yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows?
Hey, we told you by every single person that we banned on social media for trying to warn you about this and that.
Yeah.
We told you without telling you, so their karma is clean in their eyes, I guess. Maybe
Wow.
If you were paying the slightest bit of attention, every single movie that you love is about how if you just have love in your heart, your whole reality will change. But instead, you choose to be divided and pick a side and hate. Right? Like think about the movie. I'm telling you, think about the movie Groundhog's Day. Right? Every day is the same for Bill Murray until he gets out of the way and starts trying to love and help other people. Then his life is magic. And I'm going to tell you, testify myself. Right? Is since I've decided to not commit my time to anything that is negative, and if I do stumble upon something negative, I just try to transmute it, find some way to make it positive for me, and started thinking about everything that way. About, you know what, I'm going to get up every morning before the sun rises. I'm going to go outside with this Spotify playlist I created. It has all these songs about magic, dream, believe, dance, love, right? And I'm going to think about 10 impossible things before most people even wake up. And I'm out there dancing, creating this vortex of energetic electromagnetic bliss in my heart and sending that out to the world to be reverberated back to me, right?
Boom.
And when I stay in that mindset of following my passion, my bliss, operating with the love, even though sometimes it's tough love because some people are assholes and they deserve a mirror, but it's still love.
Yeah.
When I'm that way, the things that have unfolded in my life since then, it's like I told the job I wasn't going to take their job, right? Well, it's like every day I've been walking on faith and not by sight, and hoping that a block appears beneath my foot. And it has. You know what I mean? I have not wanted for one single thing, and things that I thought might have been overcomable challenges or roadblocks just fell, just got out of the way. And I was making more of a big deal of it than it needed to be. And I'm just telling you, it's hard to put into words, but I would encourage everybody to pay attention to synchronicities, because when you're leading with love, when you're following your bliss, and you're not completely acting out of lower vibe, self-centered, root-based, chakra, ego, dick-driven shit, right?
Yeah.
Magic starts happening in your life. I'm telling you, it does. There's synchronicities that happen, and if you pay attention to those synchronicities, it's like the Most High winking at you, saying, "I see you. You're doing great. Keep on going."
And you can't trick it. You can't actually, want those things selfishly, but then pretend outwardly you don't, because that won't work. Yeah, you got to really.
You have to be in what's it called? Like resonance, heart, mind resonance. Yeah. You have to think that it's, mentally, but you also have to feel it. It's right. It's almost like you feel the emotion, and the emotion creates the energy that manifests it. Because like I said earlier, we are in an electromagnetic ocean of air, right? It's an emotion ocean, and our emotions are electromagnetic things. So this is ancient knowledge that people will think is woo-woo in some cases, but it's actually the oldest stuff. It's not new age,
Yeah. And there's going to be those people out there that, want to do shit like that, but your heart isn't pure, your intentions are bad, and that will be known through, however you're thinking and stuff like that. The mask you put on or the charade you do won't help you out.
Yeah. And I think there are ways for people to still get what they want if they manipulate other people. But I'm just saying you can do it without doing any of that. And then it's like magic because, it's like God providing for you, And it's like, I'm not a Bible thumper. And when I say God, I can't put a definition on that. Some force that operates through me and beyond me, outside of my understanding, that somehow arranges divine coincidences in my life that are too big to call coincidences. So I call them synchronicities. And I look at people like Carl Jung and John C. Lilly. Now, John C. Lilly was given millions of dollars by NASA, to do LSD and confine himself in sensory deprivation tanks in an attempt to telepathically communicate with dolphins.
NASA, if you're looking for another person to do that, hit me up.
Yeah, or me. Give me all the action. I'll try to talk to dolphins. And his assistant, the whole program got shut down because his assistant couldn't calm the young male dolphin down. So she started giving him handies to calm him down, and they had to shut the whole operation down.
I've heard about that.
NASA spent millions on that. But Carl Jung was, or John C. Lilly had this concept of ECHO, the Earth Coincidence Control Organization. And it was an analogy or a metaphor for what I just described, a force that acts within us, through us, outside of our understanding, that arranges divine synchronicities in our life. And if we follow our bliss and pay attention to those synchronicities, they continue to multiply, and we're basically living in union with the Most High. And it's so bright. The shining is so bright. You can't put it into words. And it's like,
and if you didn't add all the hoopla, like that sounds like what religion should be. That right there, what you just said, sounds like what religion should be.
And guess what? I don't ask you to believe me because it's almost impossible to believe, and you'll never know. If you have to ask, you'll never know. You have
You're not asking me to sacrifice.
Put it to the test and see it for yourself. There's no fake in the funk. Like I said earlier, your brain is a frequency receiver, and it helps tune the radio. And reality is frequency locked. Nothing is real. On a quantum level and atomic level, they say that even as you get down to matter and look at the smaller and smaller and smaller things, it's all like Russian nesting dolls. It's like atoms or whatever zipping in and out of existence, humming along that appear solid, right? But 90% of it or 99% of it is nothing.
Yeah.
So I think about the Beatles, Strawberry Fields, nothing is real.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a lot of the way the Hindus would talk too. So I think that, could you imagine if instead of being raised the way we were from birth, we were encouraged that all the stuff I'm talking about is real? Manifestation, magic, love, connection, union with the divine. We are brainwashed. I was raised in a cult, I'm telling you, right? And people have divorced in their minds our cult that we grew up in America and Catholic and religious church and Christianity and all that, and public school indoctrination. They don't see that as a cult. They see it as a culture, right? And so do people in cults before they wake up. But what's the difference between a cult and a culture? Your opinion of it, right? My opinion is that we all were born into a cult.
Well, yeah, because you said what's the difference between cult and culture? Really, they both have cult in the name.
Yeah, and so what do you do when you tend to a garden? You cultivate it, right?
Yeah,
you prepare it. Life's a garden, baby. Dig it. Life's a garden. Dig it.
I love it. Joshua James, Mr. Electric Gnosis. I want everybody to go check out his YouTube channel. Check out his Patreon. Again, that's Electric Gnosis, Gnosis. You got another show coming up tomorrow, I believe, right, Josh?
Yeah, and I do want to tell everybody I do have premieres on my channel every single day. So on weekdays, there's a new video every day. I'm there live in the chat to answer questions. Those are going to be at 7:07 p.m. on weeknights, and then on weekends they're at 9:09 a.m. every day. And then I also go live. I go live Tuesday through Sunday at 10 a.m. This is all Arizona time. And then on my channel tomorrow, I'm actually going to host somebody who I think is a genius. I'll give him a shout out here. His name is Stephen J.D. Beatty. Okay. And he's spent a lot of time, a lot of obsessive ADD, genius level, brilliant dude, alone time, solitary, like people, the thing that I don't like is how and you guys don't do it, right? But outside, somebody who's got kids, a wife, a full-time job, and never had the ability to look into anything for themselves will judge somebody based on an idea, but then they don't understand that person's been jobless for 5 years, doesn't have any kids, and is obsessed with this information and has a level that you couldn't even dream of, buddy. Right. So, but his concept is that, and I agree with him mostly, right? We might disagree on a few things, but we're going to work that out on the conversation. I'll ask him some of these questions, but his view is that the Old Testament was originally based on astrotheology. It told us about the stars and the planets and the constellations above us and the different cycles that we go through, and that has been perverted. And the thing is, like, think about this, right? They talk about the Christmas, right? Christmas is, they say, and it's associated with Jesus, who died for 3 days and was resurrected, right? Well, during this winter solstice, for 3 days, every day the sun rises in a different spot. It gets further away from the north, further away from the magnetic center, right? At the point of December 22nd, it's the farthest away it's going to get. And it actually goes in three days, it rises in the same spot. It's like, it's called the solstice because that means the sun stands still in Latin. So the sun stands still, wow. Solstice. Okay. Now, after those 3 days, when the Son of God is dead, he's suspended, he's hanging, right? It comes back, right? And that signs longer days, more spring, all this stuff, right? Now, if that was written from anywhere besides the northern hemisphere, which is inside of the equator on my model, it wouldn't have been that date, because on the southern hemisphere, Christmas is in July. It's at the end of June. So the story would be set in June, not in December, if it were written in the north as opposed to the south, because the seasons are flipped, right?
Oh, yeah.
So our theory is that Ireland, Scotland, somewhere very close to what is now the what we would call the north, or the magnetic center of this realm, or the North Pole, right? Is where these stories all originated from. And they were originally stories telling us about the stars, the planets, the constellations, and different cycles. And they, it got bastardized as it got, basically, as the Roman Catholic Vatican took over. And then, I don't know if he's going to go here with it, but I am. I see clear evidence that part of their perversion of this astrotheological documentation from the north central viewpoint of it all, to further disconnect us from what really happened, Kaisers, kings, Kaisers, rulers, in different areas, emperors would take on the names of the gods, of the old gods, which were the planets, right? Okay. And then kind of reenact these stories down here, and that would give them, like, they always said, we have divine authority to rule, because they claimed association with the gods, which were the planets and all the ancient myths, right? So I think that originally the Old Testament described what was going on above us, and eventually, as a part of perverting it and disconnecting it from that, a group of parasitic people rewrote it and assumed the names and claimed themselves as gods, and that nobody will ever get a clear interpretation of the Old Testament unless they look at both of those things through both of those lenses. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but he's focused, I think, more on saying that, hey, the original Jerusalem and the center of where these stories were written was like Ireland, right? But if I were to expand on that and add my viewpoints, that's why I'm adding a little bit of extra details there. But I'm going to give him an opportunity to flesh out his whole message, because I know even if he's not 100% right, he's got so many brilliant ideas that people need to look into, and there's a lot of truth in that. So I'd love that. I'm going to give him a chance to shine in front of my audience with that tomorrow. Yeah.
I love it, dude. I love the content you're putting out. I love that you have, such passion, and you're doing the deep dives into things. And like you said, a college education, or maybe you didn't say it, but inferred to, a college education is a piece of paper. So the research you're doing, it could be a doctorate, basically, on how far you're going. It's not just a college education on the subject. You're going deep.
Yeah. And I think that, like, in the past, there were more people that were described as polymaths who could be experts in 97 different things, right? But the way our current indoctrination is set up, they want you studying your whole life about one thing, and they're not even telling you the truth about that one thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that, no offense to anybody who went to college or got a degree or whatever, but personally, I'm glad I didn't, because I think it's less things that I had to unlearn. I think it's actually been a benefit. And I'm an autodidact. I've always been in gifted classes, accelerated classes, and even those were boring, because I learned more when I research myself about something that I'm passionate about. So yeah, I'm an autodidact. I teach myself. And we don't, that's another thing, that giving up our agency, right? We don't need no stinking badges. We don't need anybody, saying, you're approved by me that you learned this satisfactory. That's just another way to revoke our agency and keep the power in the people that are, controlling all this shit. So
Right.
College doesn't teach you how to free think and do your own research. It teaches you how to be indoctrinated. Yeah, exactly.
Just like church at a young age in grade school. It's all indoctrination before we can even realize what's going on. That's why I say I was raised in a cult.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Josh, we're going to do this again, my man. Again, thank you for coming on. What were we going to say, Chad? I'm sorry.
No, anytime.
No, I'm good. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it. As always. Thank you.
Thank you guys for having me on again and for giving the green light to just talk about whatever. I love that. I love the risk takers. I love the people who say, come and ban me, silence my channel, whatever. We'll get a new one and get it back up. We're not catering or taking a knee. This is Sparta, baby.
Let's go. Yeah, we've been fighting a good fight for a minute, dude, and we're glad to have you on board on this and glad you're giving the audience some of this information. And every time you're on, we're just fascinated. So we're definitely going to do this again. You're going to be our most recurring guest on this show.
Awesome. Love it. Just let me know when, and it's been a pleasure. We'll see you later, guys.
Be good, Josh. Thank you so much. Electric Gnosis there. Go check him out, his YouTube channel, all his socials and stuff. He's putting out, like I said, a lot of good content. He's putting it out daily. He's putting stuff out on the weekend. So, I mean, he's really putting in the time and effort. He told his job to go F themselves so he could, go into this full time. That just, I love people who do stuff like that. So go get him, Mr. Joshua James. Always fun show. Forgot this portion, Mr. Gracey. How could I every stinking time? I'm going to call it not our intro song, but just whenever we want to play it. Ba-bom.
Two voices in the air, they vibe, they glow.
See this, Chad?
They got the kind of spark you want to know.
I see it.
Remember that movie?
Thoughts like stars, watch them flow.
Hey.
The gracious two, oh yeah, it's true. Laughs and wisdom, all for you. The gracious two, they're breaking through. Turn it up, it's what you do.
And don't worry, audience out there, we are playing this song, and then we are getting into the egomaniac that is Mr. Ed Kowalczyk. So get ready, folks.
It's real conversations that you want to feel. Every word's a ride, they've got that deal. The grace too, oh yeah, it's true. Laughs and wisdom, all for you. The grace is too, they're breaking through. Turn it up, it's what you do.
Yeah. Leave it playing a little bit there. We can talk over it.
Let's put up our sponsors as well.
Good idea, Mr. Gracey.
Remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment as well. Everybody, do it.
Please do it. We know where you live. All right there. So our sponsors, Mr. Eric Javits. I don't even know if it's Mr. Eric Javits. I just say that, but I never met him. For your high-end fashion, Melania Trump wears all their good stuff. They got beautiful hats, beautiful, tops, all that stuff for guys and gals. So ericjavits.com. Type in the coupon code, TheGracious2, all one word. Get your 20% off. To get that pick-me-up, Chad, you got to go to getgoodfeels.com.
There you go.
Baby. Get those THC seltzers and drops and get your good feels going. And again, use that coupon code TheGracious2. And then one other place we got going for you all, it's Old Glory for all your rock and roll memorabilia. Some sports stuff on there too, but mainly for that rock and roll stuff. So go check them out. oldglory.com. Use coupon code TheGracious2. Boom shakalaka. Before we get into talking about Mr. Ed Kowalczyk, because I got to find that post. What a pompous dude. Your state, Chad, for the 6th year in a row is the largest population loss in America, California. Let me take off.
Yeah. I noticed how Gavin Newsom's talking points have gone from the 4th largest economy in the world to the 5th largest economy in the world. And that's only in less than a year.
Right.
And all the billionaires are fleeing. I think SpaceX just announced they're fucking pulling out. All these corporations are pulling out. It's just a matter of time, I think, until Silicon Valley starts pulling out. And then what do they have?
Well, yeah. I mean, the taxes are crazy, bro. For $1 million,
taxes and regulation, it's insane.
Yep.
Insane.
Taxes and regulation.
No one does anything about it. I mean, fuck, every time a company leaves, Gavin Newsom's practically like, okay, see you later, get the fuck out. I mean, that's basically what he says. It's friggin' insanity.
You're right.
And the blue people just keep voting for blue people.
It's so it kind of brings up. So it's like Gavin Newsom says to these companies, just get out, right? And then they leave, like not realizing the appreciation he should have for these companies because that's what makes his state great. Almost like Chad, Mr. Ed Kowalczyk and your fans and the way he talks about them, dude. It's almost like he doesn't appreciate them or care if they're fans anymore.
I guess not. No. According to his post, he's a multi-fucking millionaire. So he doesn't care about his fans.
Crazy, bro.
Or certain fans, I should say, with certain opinions. So I guess it's it's diversity of thought is not present.
No, it is
like
not.
Most people on the left.
Which is, it's just crazy, man. It's like the egomaniac that we've been talking about, but like just to see it in black and white, dude, you just feel duped as a fan, like somebody who's really been in. But the saving grace is that the three of you guys are what started that band, so that's what gives it the saving grace. But just to be so in love with that music and have an egomaniac like that talking about the fans that you guys made and created, it's just like a huge slap in the face.
But he's also confirmed why he changed the logo to blue.
Talk about that. Yeah, buddy. Blue no matter who.
That was my running theory, but it's just been confirmed by his posts.
100%, dude. Wow.
And I don't, has he taken those posts down? That's usually his MO. He puts shit up and then takes it down. But I don't know if he has or not. But it went on to alternativenation.com, so it's already out there.
Beautiful. I did not realize that, but let me share this. I don't know. So I got it from the Fans of Live Facebook page because I don't follow Mr. Ed Kowalczyk.
Well, no, he blocks all of us.
That's right.
That's follow him.
Like, that is correct.
How much? I mean, is that how much of a coward you are? You can't even follow you. Like, what the fuck, dude? It's insane.
So this is not. Let me go back here because it's not pulling up the whole thing, but you guys could see my screen, so I should be able to find the one that has all three. Here we go. So it starts off with his middle finger towards the Trump building because that's so adult of him. And then he goes into this. We owe it to the men and women who died for this country to remove Donald Trump and abolish ICE as soon as possible. That is all. God bless America. Not in my name.
Fucking hilarious. I like how they use patriotism now. The left now the left is now patriotic again somehow.
Yeah.
Whereas the flag for what 8 years was racist. Now they're all about it, and it's patriotic to abolish ICE. So it's patriotic to let in 10 million illegals and just leave them here.
Yeah. How backwards thinking is that?
Yeah.
Fucking wacko.
And then denigrate the people that are doing the fucking work, actually upholding our laws.
Yep. And then here's the final nail in the coffin, Mr. Gracey. And some of these hard hearts say, stop crashing out, Ed. You're going to lose fans. I'm a multi-fucking millionaire. I don't give a rat's ass if I lose fans like you. God bless America. Abolish ICE now. What?
See, right there he is. So we're hard hearts. We have no empathy. That's what he thinks. Hard hearts. Because we don't think like he does, so we are hard hearts. And
yeah.
But he's a multi-fucking millionaire, so he doesn't give a shit about us.
No.
What?
Why would he? Okay. I'm a multi-fucking millionaire. Just like, even if you were a multi-fucking billionaire, the fact that those words come out of your mouth makes everybody want to vomit, dude. So have fun sitting on your millions of dollars and lose all the fucking great fans that your band built up over the years because you're a fucking crazy egomaniac and can't deal with people having a difference of opinion than you. And this is America, Mr. Kowalczyk, where you're allowed to have those opinions. But fuck off. Let me go to something fun here, Mr. Gracey, before we end this show. Something that'll make your palms sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. But this is nuts, dude. So 2 hot air balloons, and this guy's doing a tight. Come on. Come on. And it looks real as fuck. Come on, Yogi. Watch this, how he does this, dude. Look at that. Oh, God, are you kidding me?
Come here.
That's crazy.
Yeah!
Wow.
He's not wearing a parachute.
No.
Fuck that shit. Did you see
Fuck
Alex Honnold climb Taipei 101?
Good for you for bringing that up, dude. No, I didn't. So I didn't watch it live.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
I got to check it out.
I don't know if it was live or not. I don't think it was live, but I watched it.
No, it
yesterday.
was.
I was like, oh my God.
So he was supposed to do it Friday night at 8 p.m. live, but they there was rain in whatever country that was, so they had to postpone it to the next day.
Yep.
And it was during UFC, so I didn't get to watch it live, but I watched the some of the clips and stuff like that. So supposedly he got paid like a couple $100,000 for it, which he's saying is peanuts to do it, but he said he would have done it for free for the experience, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But it's strictly for adrenaline, dude. Like you're doing that just to fucking have adrenaline. Like there's no reason to not have a rope. God forbid. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all I saw watching it was either he's going to die and we're going to watch it on live TV, or he's going to inspire all these other people to go climb buildings without ropes, and then they're going to die. So I didn't see a good, there was cool visuals and stuff like that, but I didn't see the, like what this did for society type of deal.
I don't know. Supposedly it's always been his dream to climb a building. So there you go. He's done it.
God bless. And then Chad, you saw him going out on those side things where like the round circle things, and he had to like what the fuck, man?
It's fucking nuts. I watched the whole thing. I was like, Jesus. He gets to the very top of the tower and stands on top of it. Just like, what the fuck?
And it looks like he's standing on a half a circle. It doesn't look like it's flat.
No, it's not
there.
flat. It's a dome. It's a half of a dome on top of that thing. He's just standing up there. It's like,
but like it's nothing. Chad, did you think? Because when he's up there, though, it almost made it seem like the building was kind of small because he's standing on that dome thing, and I'm like, what's in there? It doesn't seem like you could fit a room or something in there. Like I don't know. The perspective.
It's just a spire. The thing on the top. It was just a spire, and then there's only 101 floors high, so it's 101 stories. And then the little tower, the tower thing on top is, I think, for mechanics, and then the very spire that he's standing on, just for decoration, I guess.
Gotcha. Yeah. So in that vein, we'll end with this one, and then we'll bid the audience adieu. But check this out, dude. This is freaky as fuck. Yo, look at this, Chad. How crazy is this, bro? I shut the music off just so we don't get look now. He walks up, Chad. So he makes it pretend like he's putting his foot on steps and walks up. Like, look at the amount of muscle that takes to do, bro.
I've seen people do that in the gym on fucking crossbars, but not hanging off the side of a cliff. Okay.
No.
Fucking crazy.
I mean, it looks cool as fuck, but Jesus, dude, one slip, one grip, you're done.
And there are people that have died.
Let me do one.
Like him.
Yes, there are. And like one of the best free soloers like died not too long ago. I want to leave it with this, Chad, because I just popped up and I forgot that I pulled it. But tell me if you think, because this says no hesitation. I think this is child abuse when I'm about to show the audience, but it's a social media clip. So tell me what you think about this.
3, 2, 1, go!
He looks scared as shit now. The way he went off looks scared. Now watch when the thing opens. He looks scared. He's like, oh my God, thank God.
Ready, journey.
Now watch the way he goes off.
3,
It says no
2,
hesitation, but he
1,
basically falls off like his legs scraped, like he rolled off.
Yeah.
He's scared as shit, bro.
That's fucking nuts.
But Chad, my point is, like, that's an 8-year-old kid. Where does the parents get off putting him in harm's way like that? Like, even if he wants to do it, I'd be like, all right, kid, wait till you're a little bit older. Like, I don't want to be the one pushing you to do this.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Shit can go wrong.
Totally.
Things can go wrong on those things. Like harnesses can break, lines can break. Like, why would you do that to your child and make him do that?
And he seemed scared, bro. He seemed pressure to do it. The way he jumped off, it was like he rolled off. One last thing. I'm sorry. I know I keep saying that, but this is disgusting, this video. I didn't even know this was a thing. So there's apparently in some fucking religion, there's something called a halala, which is you force your wife to sleep with the father-in-law for a night, and it's called a halala. And this chick didn't want to do it, so they're going to burn her tongue with a hot iron. Because she doesn't want to fuck her husband's father. Oh my God. Poor girl, man.
ولا يحصل لك اي حاجه.
Disgusting.
عادش تتكلم وما تكلميش تمضمضي وتسكت لما اشوف لساني. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله.
I don't even want to watch more of that, but what? First of all, the thing that you have to fuck the new guy you're marrying's father is disgusting, and then the fact that you don't want to do it, so they burn your tongue. Oh, can you not hear me?
No, can you? I can hear you. Can you? Something happened to my.
Let me see. If I go here, give me 1 second. I'm going to see if I could do it on my end for you.
Hold on.
Yep. Yeah, I hear you.
Something happened with my plug. I hit my plug and it jacked off. Jacked off.
You hit your plug and it jacked off. I love it.
Yeah, I mean that's Sharia law right there. This is what these white liberal women want to fucking bring here because they think, oh, we can't be Islamophobic. It's like, that's how you want to live?
Yeah.
That's really how you want to live? Shut the fuck up.
Right. Good point, dude, because like I was saying, the fact that the act is disgusting, that a lady would have to sleep with her husband's fucking father is gross. And then the fact that if you don't do it because you're an actual good woman, don't want to do that, they fucking take a hot iron and burn your tongue. What kind of society is that, bro? And why are they allowed to breathe? It's so fucked up, man. Yeah, like, I want to fucking beat the shit out of that guy holding the iron. And anybody in that room that's watching it and thinks it's acceptable, I want to fucking put my arms around their neck and squeeze. Yeah.
And they're just doing a slow invasion of the West.
Yeah.
Bringing that shit
here. Yeah. Not happening,
honor
bro.
Killings, fucking like stone her to death. Like, she gets raped, it's her fucking fault. It's like, what?
Yeah, what?
They have to wear those. They kind of cover up their hair. All these stupid fucking rules, and this is what white liberal women think that. Oh yeah, we gotta, vote for Mom Donnie. It's like, yeah. What? What do you? And then they'll be on social media like, we want Sharia law. It's like, no, you fucking don't. Stop virtue signaling to your friends and acting like it's so cool. Like, okay, if you want that, then go over there and live. Please go ahead.
Right.
Please go.
Because we don't want it for our women, dude. And people want that shit. Like, go look, like we just showed a video, but go like that. That's probably small on the grand scheme of things on how they treat their people. So
what's crazy is most of these women would consider themselves feminists too. Like it's like diametrically opposed. Like, what are you talking about? You're feminists, but you support Sharia law. What?
Good point, my man.
It is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Bring on Bobby, say goodbye to the audience, and what a gracious Tuesday we had here, folks. What up, Bobby? Oh, I shut him off.
How's everybody doing? That was a great show, man. I love Josh.
Yeah, he's good.
Such a good guest. Such a good guest.
Great guest.
He's awesome.
I had something to talk about. COVID. I think that it was everything that these people do, like 9/11 and things like that. They managed to kill like 20 birds with one stone. So with COVID, I think that one of the big things that they were doing, they were testing how fast nature takes to regenerate and to replenish itself. Because you look at it, the rivers, the everything, the sky was
Smog,
getting cleaner.
Tree,
everything was within a year's time frame. Everything was getting better, like that.
I think
fast.
they said after a week of lockdowns, they noticed the difference.
Yeah, like that fast. Like things could get better that fast. Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
So my mom and then my friend Courtney, who lives in New Jersey, and my mom, they both noticed tons of friggin' chemtrails in the skies right before the big snowstorm.
Really?
And then one of Courtney's friends went out and got some of the snow and tried to burn it tried to melt it with a aiming flame. It wouldn't melt. And then Courtney did it herself, and it wouldn't melt. And she
turns
took a bowl
black.
of snow. She sent me, she sent me the video of her doing it. She took an aiming flame, was just putting it right on the snow. It wouldn't melt. I was like,
wow. The Courtney that's always in this chat here and dancing on Instagram. Wow, Courtney, that's fucking crazy. Yeah, man. I mean, because we know those clouds. Good, Bobby.
Could have something to do with the chemicals they're spraying in the air all the time.
That's the speculation. Like there was tons of chemtrails before this big snowstorm, and all of a sudden you can't freaking melt the snow with an aiming flame. Like what?
Wow.
Maybe there's some kind of scientific explanation for it. I don't know, but it's fucking weird.
Just the way they had a scientific explanation for the magic bullet that killed JFK. You know they got one for this. Yeah,
exactly.
Science can explain.
Yeah, they have a scientific explanation as to why you should get the COVID shot too. Yeah, got it.
Right.
Yeah, that's another thing.
You want to bid the audience adieu, Bobby?
Yeah, like, subscribe. You know, do what you got to do. You know,
share.
Keep us in your mind.
That's
right.
Love you guys.
Share it up. Thank you. That's the one and only Bobby from Bobby's World on the Gracious 2. You only get it here, folks. Good stuff. Good stuff. Anything else for the audience, Mr. Gracey?
No, sir. I got to go to the bathroom.
Please like, subscribe,
Thank you,
share,
everybody.
follow, all that jazz. We're going black.